Hey students, welcome to video series on immunity, immune system. What is immune system? What are the cells involved in immune system? What are the key components of immune system? For all these questions, we are going to find out the answers. So immunity is a process of variations. It's a defense mechanism which is involved by three lines of important factors. Let us see what are the three-line defense system in our body with the help of some interesting points, examples, and variations. Immunity is a state of specific resistance to infections. As you know that immunity is a state of resistance towards some specific diseases, important pathogens. Now, any foreign body or any foreign material, if it is entering into our body or entering into the blood, what will happen? Immediately, the defense mechanism acts upon this acts upon these pathogens and able to kill those pathogens by without infection. Right now, here immunity or immune system takes specific action for neutralizing or killing microorganisms. So, for killing microorganisms, this specific immune cells, immune system plays an important role. Now, let us see about the immune system, which is a 24 by 7 day guard system in our body. So, the immunity or immune system, which is 24 by 7 guard system or guardian system, and what are the key components of this immune system, which is a guardian system 24 by 7? Let us see. The immune body offers a three-line defense system. So, what are the three-line defense system in our body? Let us see. The pattern of defense is either innate or acquired. So, the pattern of defense system, it is either acquired or innate type. Now, the most external first line of defense is acquired by the skin. The most external first line of defense is acquired a type of defense system, that is by the skin. Now, in fact, it acts as a physical barrier, which means skin act as a physical barrier. Why? Because the first line of defense against all pathogens is provided by the skin. How the skin provides the first line of defense, let us learn. Now, here if you see some important points like the skin can mount all kind of pathogens and attacks upon these pathogens through their specific enzymes called lysozyme. Lysozyme is an enzyme. Do you know? Lysozyme is an enzyme which is present in the sweat produced by the skin. This lysozyme, which is present in the sweat, can neutralize the action of bacterial cell wall or the cell membrane. So, because here the oil glands which are present in the skin that are producing sebum. Sebum is an oil produced by the sebaceous glands on the skin. This oily substance can prevent all kind of pathogens and can neutralize their actions. Now, the mucous membrane, which is present or secreted by our gastrointestinal tract, which is produced by our respiratory tract, can neutralize the action of this kind of pathogens. Now, even the tears, even the saliva of our digestive system, able to produce an enzyme called lysozyme, which can kill or neutralizes all kind of pathogens. Now, if you see the epithelial layers of the internal organs, epithelial tissues of internal organs, which are known to produce the antimicrobial proteins. What are these antimicrobial proteins? What are the specific role of what are the specific roles of antimicrobial microbial proteins? For all these questions, we are going to find out the answers. Antimicrobial proteins are specific proteins. They are specific proteins. They can act against all kind of bacteria or against all kind of pathogens. Now, these antimicrobial proteins, antimicrobial, antimicrobial proteins. These antimicrobial proteins directly acts upon this bacteria, whether it is a virus, and neutralizes their action in our body. That is an important point which you have to remember. Especially the epithelial layers. Here, there are different types of epithelial layers found in our body, right? What are the various types of epithelial tissues and their structure? What are the various roles of muscular tissues? What are the different epithelial tissues that are present in our body? Already we have seen in the previous classes. So, if you see the epithelial lining, the outermost epithelial lining, this outermost epithelial cells, whether it is a cuboidal epithelial layer, whether it is a columnar epithelial layer, whether it is a ciliated columnar epithelial layer, whether it is a stratified columnar epithelial layer, whatever it is, it was able to produce some certain kind of antimicrobial proteins, antimicrobial proteins. These antimicrobial proteins neutralize the action of microbes, pathogens, etc. Now, specific antimicrobial proteins are produced by the epithelial tissues. They are specific to certain kind of bacteria. Suppose example, our stomach contains mucus. Our stomach produces the mucus. That mucus can produce some antimicrobial proteins. Why? Because the epithelial layer of the stomach, which produces antimicrobial protein, directly acts upon the microbes like cholera and other kind of bacteria. Now, let me say a few points about the most powerful and the third line of defense. So the first line of defense is skin. What is second line of defense? What is second line of defense? Now, second line of defense is the temperature. Suppose temperature, how it is produced. The temperature is produced by the action of various cells in our body. Suppose there are some certain kind of cells called macrophages. Macrophages, as you can see the macrophages here. These macrophages are large granular cells, and these macrophages undergoes for phagocytosis function. Phagocytosis function. What do you mean by phagocytosis? Here, if you see the bacteria which is there on the screen, this bacteria, when it reaches to the macrophages or when macrophages reach to the bacteria, immediately this bacterians engulf this, immediately these phagocytes engulf this bacteria. When they engulf bacteria, when the macrophages engulfs the bacteria, they will be killed inside the macrophages. In this case, the bacteria is called as a specific antigen, and here by producing some antibodies, macrophages kills this kind of bacterians. So that's why in these reactions in between macrophages and the bacteria, because of the enzymatic reactions, highest amount of temperature produces. So this temperature, which is nothing but the second line of defense in our body, which is produced by the phagocytosis function. Third line of defense is most appropriate and most useful, most fascinating, most fastest defense system is third line of defense. The third line of defense, which is produced by after the birth of a baby, which is developed after the birth of a baby during embryonic developments. First line of defense is occurring, and after the birth, second line of defense. When we are growing, third line of defense generally same. The third line of defense is completely depends upon cells called T cells and B cells. What are T cells? T lymphocytes. What are B cells? B lymphocytes. These T cells produces specific antibodies against some disease causing microbes. Now, the immune system is guardian angle. Based upon this, what we can conclude, the immune system is considered as the guardian, the protective layer of the system. So hence, it is considered as the guard system, protective. Guard means bodyguards. You can know that the bodyguards gives protection to the certain peoples, right? Like that, it is considered as the guardian system. By the way, for all these points we have understood, but who is considered as father of immune system? The scientist, namely Edward Jenner, who is known for father of immune system. He is very familiar with the immunity and development of immunity by natural and artificial methods. So that's why Edward Jenner is considered as father of immunology, and he is the first immunologist in the history of science. And you know that he has discovered a vaccine for cowpox disease. So his inventions and his collaborations in the science and immunology made him to become a father of immunology. Clear, students? And this is about the father of immunity and immunologist and the introduction for immunology. In the next coming video, we are going to see one more interesting topic. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next moment. Once again, thank you. Have a nice day.